When I first joined the Air Force, I used to always hear, you got that military money now.
Bucks, big bucks.
And I didn't really know what that meant back then, but after 18 years of being in the Air Force, I totally know what it means. And I'm about to explain it to you all. At the beginning of this year, I made a video detailing that I made $100,000 last year. And a lot of y'all got in my comments and y'all were like, yeah, but how much did you actually net? And I didn't think that was fair. Most companies, when they advertise their pay, they don't advertise what you net. They advertise the gross pay. But I got time today. But I'm not just gonna show y'all what I net. I'm gonna compare my pay to a civilian's pay. Who is that civilian? It's gonna be my wife. And she's gonna represent America. And the reason why she represents America is because her annual salary is close to the average salary of the United States. The average salary of the United States is about $63,000. I just Googled that. And she makes slightly above that, bringing in about $71,445 a year. She has a master's degree and she works for the VA as a GS-10. And then you have me, and I represent the military. I've been in the military 18 years and my annual salary is about $68,338. That's just my base pay. I'm comparing my base pay to hers because that's what's taxable.
Okay.
Now, how much of this do we actually get to take home? So if you divide each one of our annual salaries up by 12, she grosses $5,973 a month and I gross $5,694 a month. So starting off, my wife makes more money a month than I do. But when you start looking at what's deducted from her pay and what's deducted from my pay, that's when things change a little bit. So we're gonna look at some of this stuff. As far as federal taxes go, she pays about $290 a month in federal taxes. As far as my federal taxes go, I pay $449.99. I'm paying more than her because for some reason she does some crazy exemptions. I don't know why she's doing that. We're gonna have to talk about that. As far as Social Security goes, she pays $357 a month and I pay $353 a month. As far as Medicare goes, she pays $83 a month and I pay $82 a month. As far as life insurance goes, she's paying $28 a month for life insurance. And for me, I pay $36 a month total for that life insurance. And we both pay dental. Now there's a reason why we both pay for dental. Under my dental, getting my kids braces, TRICARE only covers 50% of that. With my wife's dental, her dental covers the other 50%. So we got all of our kids' braces. We paid nothing because both of our insurances. So it's worth it. But there's a major difference in price. Her dental plan costs her about $126 a month. And my dental for the entire family costs about $32 a month. Now here's where things get a little bit different. As far as her TSP, which is like a 401k, she puts 10% of her pay into her TSP, which comes out to about $593 a month. Now my pay stub says that I put $56 into my TSP. I stopped contributing to my TSP like that, and instead I save money for real estate. And then for me, the last little deduction I have to pay is the Armed Forces Retirement Home. And I'm obligated to pay that. They take that out of my check. It's for vets who need affordable homes maybe later in their life. And they take out 50 cents a month for that. And for me, I'm done. That's it. Now my wife, who represents America, it keeps going. So because she works for the government, they have this additional retirement thing that you have to pay into. It's a pension, which means when you turn 62 years old, the government will start paying you a monthly pension. But she has to pay into that. And it costs her $261 a month to pay into her pension. Y'all, to make it make sense, I too get a pension. The difference between mine and hers is I don't have to wait until I'm 62 to start collecting it. I can start collecting my pension when I retire after 20 years in the military. And I don't have to pay into it. So I'll be 40 years old when I retire and I'll start collecting a monthly pension every month. And then she also pays for vision. Now she doesn't need vision because we have TRICARE. However, she likes paying for vision because it gets her more things than TRICARE would give her. So she pays $36 a month for that. And then lastly, she pays to be part of the union. But one thing that y'all don't see on her paycheck is health insurance. She's not paying for health insurance because she has TRICARE under me. But because she represents America, I'm going to add health insurance on to make it more realistic because she's representing the average American with the family.
Okay.
Now keep in mind that most employers pay a percentage of your health insurance. The government, where she works for, pays about 40% of health insurance. So if we're saying that the average premium is $1,300, let's say that she would only pay about $800 because the government will pay the rest. And when you look over at me, who represents the military, I do not pay health insurance. I get that for free. Now, if we add up all her deductions for the month, all of her deductions will come out to about $2,620. If you subtract that from her base pay, she'd make about $3,333 a month. That's what she would net. But the biggest difference between my and her paycheck is that her employer says, that's it. You got to figure everything else out. You got to figure out your housing. You got to figure out your groceries. You got to figure out everything off of $3,333 a month with your family. What the military does is say, you know what? Your base pay is not enough. We need to also give you a housing allowance. We also need to give you a food allowance. And we need to make it non-taxable because we got to take care of our people. So the Air Force says, you know what, Jody, for your housing, we're going to give you $2,184 a month. And for your groceries, we're going to give you $460 a month. And you know what else? Because you do a special duty job, we're also going to give you an additional $300 a month. And so when you add up what I net about $7,073 a month, doubling what my wife makes. I'm telling y'all, military money is just different. It's so different that you can have an E3 come in the military and buy a dumbass car. Matter of fact, I made a video about how it's possible that these young military members are driving around in Chargers. If you want to see that, I got a video on the screen right now which will break it all the way down. Like I always say, I hope this video brought value to you. Stay beautiful, stay classy, and until next time, check me out.